Welcome back. So this is part 2 of the behind the scenes of the project that we told you about. If you saw the first video, the property was actually built in 1939. It's been around for a while. And what started as a garage renovation project has now grown. The point of this video is to show you what happens behind the scenes and also to point out that we don't cut corners. We specialize in being on top daily of what we're doing, and the construction materials that we use and the processes that we use are above board. We specialize in being able to point out what's needed for that project and not just throw something down that looks good temporarily and it's going to give you problems 6 months, a year down the line. We're not interested in that. We're interested in building long-term relationships. A great part of our business is that our customers call us back and they refer us to other people. So follow me as we go through what we started in the previous video. If you remember, we replaced this walkway. It's now finished. We built a retaining wall. Because of the way this is a cul-de-sac and the way the land flows, everything comes downhill and mostly in this direction. Again, the house was built in 1939. There are things that needed to be done, and part of what DMV does is not look for what is known in the industry as change orders. Companies capitalize on making more money after they're with you, they've contracted with you to do whatever project you had in mind and agreed to. And then they point out all these things that, oh, we didn't include this, we didn't include that. That's gonna be $1,000 extra, $5,000 extra, $20,000 extra. In this instance, this concern was brought to us. We've addressed it. It is a change order, one that needed to be done, but we didn't bring it out to capitalize just to make more money. We make suggestions as professionals, and this is where we're at. So all of this was a real mess. Again, a lot because of the way the land lays and the water filtrates. So this has addressed that, following up with nice brick retaining walls that will have the proper slope for drainage, etc. And if you see here, we've laid this brick already. This retaining wall is in. The same brick that you see there will be laid here to match. This walkway goes directly to where the recycling bin and trash cans await. This is the brick that we'll be using, matching what was already in place. It did not need to be replaced. This area did. We matched it, and this brick will be straight down, as you see it laying here, around the tree. So that's begun, and obviously leaving room for the tree to do what it's gonna do with the property. Follow me down here. So all of this, as you can see, has been redone. Again, the way the land is laid, everything comes down this way. All the water comes down this way. This was a major issue here, which we followed along with the brick, ensuring one solid surface all the way around. So all of this has been redone. Landscape and everything else will come afterwards. You can see it's still in a rough shape, but what really needed to be addressed has been addressed here. Follow me. Now, a couple things. If you remember in the first video, there was a handmade retaining wall. What I mean by handmade is that they grabbed a bunch of stones, rocks, what have you, and put it together to hold the land. Wasn't working. So this was redone recently. We're not done yet. You'll come back for the third video of the series when everything is finalized, and we're approaching that date now. Now we have the proper retaining wall to hold the ground. It'll have weeping holes to allow water filtration. There'll be a nice cap on here. And then this is the existing brick that we had initially that we've matched all around the property. A couple things that still need to be done at the end is that we'll need proper railing for security here. This section here that laid, if you remember, we were here for the garage. The garage is built. We're finalizing that and finishing that. Following the same lay of the land, we're following with the brick down, new steps, new retaining walls on both sides, keeping the water filtration where it needs to go. Retaining walls had to be built. They weren't existing. On this side and this side. Following along with the same brick pattern down to the steps. From this point forward is new concrete, along with the new concrete and block. Garage is already built, roof is on it, electrical, the lighting will be going next. All this pathway, if you remember, is already new. This, another retaining wall. Now come back, watch your step. I want to point out a couple things here. This is the walkway that's been done. Another retaining wall. And if you can see now, we have wrought iron handrail, needs to be here for obvious purposes, and a security gate that locks. Now, if somebody wants to get in, they're probably gonna find a way, but we're not gonna make it easy for them. Gutters are on the roof already. As you can see, it's fall, it's cold. These will be cleaned out. New gutter guards will be installed here and around the whole property now. Another request from the owner. If you recall, the last video that we did, the door wasn't here, the door's here now. We've got storage at the top, the way the owner wanted it. We've got a light, we've got proper handrails all the way around and down the steps into the parking area. Now, here's a big problem that we saw. The owner requested that we have a retaining wall at the bottom, which you'll see a little bit later, to control the water filtration that was going into the alley. That's gonna happen at the alley level. However, if you look at the way the land goes, part of the problem is that the owner wanted to make sure that we save this tree. If the retaining wall at the bottom was not done, that tree eventually is probably going to go away. That's going to be done, but there was one more issue, and it's right here. This retaining wall needed to be here as well in order to slow down. If you see the slope of the land again, the water and the sediment and the erosion happening, this new retaining wall will serve that purpose. Between this wall and the wall at the bottom, it's going to really slow things down, keeping the tree, water going to the alley, etc. So all this will be poured, a new retaining wall, which you'll see at the last video. Now, follow me again. Here are a couple other issues. There's sliding glass doors from the second level. There's cheap railing out of pressure treated lumber. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna replace that railing with wrought iron. We're gonna replace this old unstable railing here as well. In addition, there's gonna be more railing to code on this side to prevent someone from falling over, and the same with the other edge over there. This walkway that was here initially was poured concrete, done very fast without much attention to how they were doing things. We ripped that out. We're gonna do the same brick that has been done here, proper concrete on the bottom of it, all the way around. We've lifted both units, both compressors for the HVAC and heat, in order to get under it, because again, it was done very cheap and was not gonna last at all. So we've done that all the way around. You can see the brick is still here. That will be laid matching all the way around to the front of the house. This is engineering ingenuity. There's people that live in the house still. It was important to be able to not have anyone freezing inside during this cold weather. So we've lifted it carefully in order to lay the concrete, in order to lay the brick. It'll be lowered again. Everything will be great. Follow me around this way. All that cheap concrete that I mentioned before went all the way around. That's been taken out. Same thing's gonna happen here. New concrete, new brick all the way around. So that's what needed to be done. We've got these wonderful trees. The way the land slopes, all this water, all this erosion comes down this way. This guy's not going anywhere. He's been here for a long time. That tree there is about 100 and some years old. I'm imagining this one probably more than that, and that one there was gonna go away as well. So because of the way the land goes, that new retaining wall is gonna slow things down. The one at alley level is really gonna make a difference as well. So from this point, we'll go down to the alley level and you'll be able to see what's been done there and where we're at with that. Okay, so now we're at ground level where the alley is. This is the view now that's been done. We are now going to frame, the height that we have is in excess of what we need for the garage door, which will be electronic, and that will be framed out. Lighting in front on top, motion detecting lights. Then the garage door, the garage will be painted. The concrete will be poured all along the edge at the level of the alley. You can see what that looks like now with the steps. We had to, that's another thing. The way the engineer had designed the garage did not work exactly on site. So we had to make a couple changes that weren't major, but they had to be done in order for it to be functional. One of those was the way the stairs came down from where the door sits did not work for the height and the slope. It would have been too steep. So we adjusted the framing, and now being able to slope the stairs, we're able to have it work correctly and not have anyone hit their head, what have you. So this space here is not going to be drywalled. It's not going to be heated, it's not going to be insulated. That's the way they want it. It's going to be functional for a car, access through the garage into the upper level. The upper level is going to be storing items, etc. And then obviously here's the new wrought iron gate for security purposes. The new retaining wall is going to follow the edge of this garage all the way to the end of the property line. And if you see now the way the ground slopes, all that water, all that drainage from the top of the hill, from beyond the front of the house, comes this way. And what you have is a lot of erosion. The tree is at its danger level of where it sits on the slope. So that top retaining wall is going to hopefully slow that down a lot, along with the one here at the bottom as well. And that will go all the way to that edge. We really take care of our customers. It's not just putting down materials to look good now and end up giving you problems 6 months down the line. That's what really makes DMV General Contracting Group stand apart from what we do. We're a small, family-run business. All of our guys that are working on the field and back of the house care about what they do. We're always on top of everything, along with great communication with our customers. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and our YouTube channel at DMV General Contracting Group to see the final work done here at this garage, Northeast Washington, D.C.